The first thing that I'm curious to know about you is, I think you've got now enough experience to look backwards and maybe pick a few things that you would have done different. And again, it could be going backwards, like, oh my God, like in the beginning or in the recent months or in the recent years, like what are a few things that you wish you had done differently? And you can go into any area. It could be training, nutrition, sponsors. The mic is yours.
I feel like my answer would cover all of that. I wish that I had just spoken to more people and just gotten advice on everything. I didn't have a ton of knowledge, so I didn't know what I was doing, and I just did whatever I thought. But I could have just asked coaches, asked pros, like anyone. I think I would have, accelerated my racing a lot if I had just asked and gained the knowledge that I have now.
Why do you think you didn't ask? What was the block there?
I guess maybe I was a bit shy. I thought people would look down on me, like, oh,
you were shy, nervous. Yeah, and I think when we are starting something out, like we look up to people, and then we feel so far away from where they are, and then we just get intimidated by these people, and there's nothing to be intimidated about. Like most people that have done amazing things, they're so happy to help.
Yes, yeah, 100%. And I should have just asked, like, whatever I need help with, someone will help me. It's all good.
Everybody out there, ask more questions. Don't be afraid of, poking somebody on the shoulder and going, hey. Yeah. And I think in the beginning, like, you don't even know what you don't know, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And if you ask the question, then the answer will, even if the answer is like, yes, you have no idea what you're doing, but now you know, right? Now you know. It's like, oh, okay, that's what I need to figure out. That's maybe what I should focus on. And yeah, it takes a lot of time to just do all of that by yourself on YouTube with trial and error, and lots of silly failures that cost you money, time, and energy. And so in saying that, obviously, major injuries, setbacks, frustration, mechanicals, it's all part of racing, mountain bikes. I would say it's probably the most frustrating sport anybody could choose to to compete in, because there's so much that could go wrong, and it's kind of outside of your control, right? There's so many variables that I don't think if you play, I don't know, if you're in a swimming pool, like there's very little that could go wrong with the swimming pool, if you're a swimmer. But with mountain bike, there's so much that is out of your control. And I wonder how, and this is a question that comes up a lot with the younger guys as they start to get injured or have all these setbacks, is how do you get motivated to keep going? How do you get motivated to train? How do you just keep that fire in your belly for years?
That's a great question, and a very hard question, because I've definitely had my moments where I'm like, what am I doing? What's going on? I don't know. But I do really enjoy training and having the structure, the routine, and that end goal in mind. When I was dealing with injury, I was just focusing on racing my bike again, not the fact that I have to wake up tomorrow at 4 a.m. to do these boring intervals because I can't ride my mountain bike. But I just am telling myself, like, that goal is what I want. That's where I'm going to end up, and I'm one day closer. So that's good.
Wow, that's a very impressive mindset.
It's not the pain right now that I'm feeling. It's, this enjoyment that I'm going to have, when I get to race my bike again. So it's hard.
Yeah, so what I'm hearing is obviously your mindset. Your mindset has to be on the goal, on the steps that you need to take to get to the goal, not focusing on where you are right now or how frustrating, how painful it is. But I'm also hearing you do have to enjoy the process of training, because if you don't enjoy it, then you might not be you might not be focusing on the right thing for you, right? Like the process of working through the goal is more important than anything else.
Yeah, it's definitely a forward thinking mindset instead of a present right now mindset, which is hard to develop. It is, but it's good. Like once you start thinking in that way, being motivated comes. Yeah, it just comes.
Also, what I'm hearing is motivation is not something that you just wake up feeling, right? You work on your mindset. You work on your mindset, and the motivation comes through the mindset.
For me, anyways.
We're asking you, yeah, just to focus on you because that's your personal experience, right? And yeah, I think each person has to develop like what things pull you forward. For me, it's very much what things pull me forward. And sometimes like, oh, you're dreading doing something, and then you just got to find that little bit of thread, that just pulls you to the next thing. That's at least how I get motivated. Like I need to feel that pull forward, and when I'm not feeling, I just start searching. I'm like, I search and I search, and I'm like, I feel it, come on, let's go. But I think that applies to anything, right? It's not just racing or competing or mountain biking. I think that applies to most things that are worth doing and that are going to take you to a place where you enjoy. You're not going to wake up wanting or feeling like doing it, ever. And each person has to find that way. But it's good for the younger crew to listen to you saying those things, because again, they don't know what they don't know, right?
Yes, been there.
Yeah, it is always like they look on Instagram and they create these stories and these narratives around what your life is like, and they'll never come and ask you like, is it really like that? Right? They'll just think, oh, life is perfect.
No, there's a bit more to it. Hey,
there's a little bit more to it than my Instagram page. Okay, cool. So in talking about motivation, and yeah, how you're going to pull yourself forward, is that something exciting or a goal or something that you're thinking about and working towards, in the next 2 to 3 years? Like, are you looking that far ahead at this stage? And if so, what is your approach to that kind of long-term goal at the moment?
I am looking at those long-term goals, and for me, I want to establish myself as like a cross-discipline rider. I want some national champs, but I don't want it at just enduro. I think switching between cross-country and downhill is going to make me a better rider, even gravel as well. Yeah, I think just being consistent and crossing between all those disciplines is like, it's going to push me out of my comfort zone, and it's going to make me better. Maybe some more national champs. Yeah. I'll eventually get there. If I'm consistent at pushing myself out of my comfort zone, it will come.
Amazing. So expanding the options on titles and practice, and that's cool. And I think it potentially, again, it feeds back into motivation, right? If you have different things that you're practicing and you're not stuck in this kind of one box, it gives you motivation to practice and to train harder and to explore different things that all feed into one another, which is really cool. But in saying that, big goals always bring up big struggles. And big struggles. And for you, like personally, what do you think is your biggest struggle, the one thing that you struggle with the most when you really set yourself onto that kind of longer term direction?
Ooh, I would say it's about like how stressed I get about like the doubt I put on myself. Right. I doubt myself and I stress about that, and it is unrealistic and it does weigh me down. And being weighed down just from something that's internal, and it's just something I don't need, and there's nothing external that can be done about it because it's all internal, and I find that so frustrating, and it's hard to deal with, and I've always dealt with that. So It is a very personal struggle I have.
Wow, amazing. I definitely did not expect self-doubt. I don't know what I expected. I probably expected maybe just getting overwhelmed with how many things you have to do. I don't know. I don't know why I expected that, but it's interesting. I think another side that a lot of people don't understand, I definitely suffer from like ambition and self-doubt that kind of swing back and forward, because sometimes you set yourself to such a big goal or something that is so unattainable and it feels so far away sometimes that you start to just doubt you, and that doubt is just so crippling.
Exactly. It is a lot like that. And when you are chasing like those bigger goals and it is so far away, you're thinking about all these things you have to do to get there. That can just stress you out. Can I do it? I don't know. Then it just falls from there when you can actually do it.
Yep.
So, yeah.
I think what, by no means I have balance in that area of my life. I absolutely don't. So that nobody should listen to me, because I love a big kind of big picture thing going on in my brain. But I think the people that know me, that are around me and kind of that helped me, is just focus on kind of like the next bite, the next bite, and the next bite. Because I tend to just do what you just said. Like I figure out everything that has to be done and all of the little steps and all. And then I realize like, oh my God, this is an impossible list. There's just so much to do. And then I just have to kind of like keep focusing on the next bite and the next bite and the next bite. And I also think one of the things with self-doubt is impatience.
It's crippling.
It's like two sides of the same coin, right? It's impatience and self-doubt, and that's something that I deal with it. I deal with it on a daily basis, to be precise. But it's cool to hear you saying, because I think now that I've spoken to a lot of, athletes on the high performance end of mountain biking, it's something that all of you experience. The anxiety and the self-doubt and the not dealing well with failure, and all of it is part of the game, which is something that I'm gonna go on a slight tangent here, but I think when you play other sports like rugby or team sports, because you kind of you go through these academies of these sports and you have teammates, and then once you get to professional, you've been in those environments for so long. Not that it takes it away, but I think it prepares you better. But I think in mountain biking, you go from being like a solo person hustling around the country on these races with your parents' money and your own money, and then out of a sudden you just get projected onto national level and potentially as a professional team. That jump is so monumental when you consider it. And I remember the first year that we worked with Ryan and Luke, and it was like that. He was going from racing just national races and being solo to then being in a professional team racing in Europe and around all these people. And I remember Ryan struggling with that kind of performance anxiety.
In a rut where you're like, am I supposed to be here? I feel like for me, whether that's because I'm a girl and I'm racing on the same track with all these really fast men around me, and it can be a bit intimidating, and I doubt that I'm supposed to be there. But it was hard for me to just be like, yep, I'm on this track, this is my line, this is the speed that I'm going at, I'm doing this, and I'm not worrying about with these really fast dudes that are coming barreling up. I'm doing what I'm doing, and that was hard to get in that.
Yeah, but what's the comparison with men? Like, it's so non-comparable. Why do we even get into those headspaces? Yeah.
But I think I was just scared, of this big tough dude that's gonna just run over me. No, right, okay. Don't need to worry.
That's it. It's such a. I think our minds just lie to us all the time. But when we're in the thick of the thought we don't realize that the mind is just playing tricks on us, right? We just go with it. We're like, oh, I'm so scared because of this dude. Whatever. Cool. And yeah, like this is a really interesting point that we got into the mindset, and again going from motivation to self-doubt to, you know, everybody has to work through. And I think I realized as well when I started to spend time around kind of men versus women, and just the approach to racing and watching kind of the hour before a race, and like just the difference between like women suffer anxiety way harder than I think men, or men maybe don't show that they're anxious. But I remember a lot of the girls like really struggling with that kind of performance anxiety the hour before the race. And you could have the best training session, the best training plan, the best team, the best bike, the best of everything. And if you cannot get your head around that performance anxiety and manage it,
it is the key.
And it's a significant part that will probably only happen for an hour. And you've got to master that. Like it's like an 80%, right? At that hour, it's 80% of the work is just managing your mind, which is really, really fascinating.
Yeah, you've done all the hard work, you know, like you have to believe in yourself because you can do it. But if you don't believe that you can do it, then you won't do it.
So in saying now the stacking of training, nutrition, practice, bike, equipment, mindset, now what do you feel is essential for you? Because I think as you grow as an athlete as well, you try a lot of things, and you kind of go around trying to make yourself better. Do you feel that you've got to a place where there's a few things that no, these things really, really matter for me to be the best I can be?
It's not mindset related, so we get a break from that. But it's nutrition. Oh my gosh. Like I would just go out training, you know, not really knowing what I was doing, and then just packing water. Now, oh my god, like I'm packing so much food. And it's the best. Like I can just go harder for longer, and I don't even know what I was thinking. Just like not taking any food at all. But yeah, essential, absolutely essential. I'm not going anywhere without food.
Again, I would never think you're gonna go on a training session and not eat. Right? It's such a simple thing. Right? Okay. So now what is your approach? Like you go, okay, you're kind of thinking in advance. I'm going to go for this amount of time, and I'm going to go a long ride. This is what I'm going to do. So it's like on the forefront of your preparation.
Yeah, absolutely. Like a 3-hour ride, I'll bring 3 minimum pieces of food, whether that's like bar, banana, that kind of stuff. At least 3. I'll usually take more. And
yeah,
I worked with a nutritionist and dietitian, all of that. So I know what I need, but I think working out what you need is essential.
Working out what you need to eat in order to feel your best, guys, please. Essential. Okay. And let's wrap up then with a hack, like something very simple, very precise that you figured out and it created like huge impact. It could be anything, bike setup, it could be again training preparation, it could be race day hack, like something that the younger girls are going to be able to implement and they're going to go, oh my god, I can't believe I didn't know this.
Ooh, a hack? I would say it's kind of a hack. I don't know, but it's finding out what you enjoy when it does, you know, come to racing, to training, like having that little thing that you like and you just get the most out of it because you are in a better mood. And when you're in a better mood, you do so much better and over long periods of time too. So for me, it's like a little pastry after training. You know, that little thing just helps me so much. And yeah, I think that's my little hack.
Okay, the hack is find the joyous part of the process of the day. Even if it's a what's your favorite pastry? What do you eat? Like a Danish, like something like that.
A little almond croissant.
Oh yeah. Girls, get an almond croissant going at the end of your ride and everything is gonna feel better. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a great
Even
that's
if you
a
have a
great
bad training ride, at least you can look forward to your almond croissant.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's also about potential, like you're taking a little bit of control, right? You're taking a little bit of like, oh, even if the day's shit, the day's gone to shit, but that part I can control.
Yep, and that's your good moment.
Now I want all of the girls out there like sending us photos of them eating almond croissants at the end of their training session. It's gonna be like the new Superdose thing. Tiny little hack. That would be so good. Okay. No, I think that was all I had for today. That was amazing. I loved just this chat. It helped me a lot, and I'm sure it's gonna help a lot of girls and people. No, not just girls, but people out there. No, they're really, really good. And what's next for you?
What's next? I have assignments that I need to get done, and then I can get back to some racing, enduro racing. So I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, so we're in assignment season, then enduro racing. Your next race is August?
Yes, yep.
When is your next big race?
I am training now for national champs. So training starts now.
End of September, so you got 2 months, 8 weeks. The road to nationals, counting down. Let's go, baby. All right, Elle, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Can't wait for our next athlete diary.